Hello traders, you are welcome to this video and I especially welcome you back to the Forex Geek channel. If you are struggling to find supply and demand zones on your charts, you are missing out on a crucial trading edge. But do not worry, because in this video I'm going to be showing you how to quickly and easily identify supply and demand zones on any time frame. Okay, so you can level up your market analysis. Stick around because I'll also reveal a simple technique to confirm strong zones so you don't get caught in false signals. All right, but before we dive in, hit that like button and subscribe if you want more powerful trading insights like this. Okay, now let us get started. First things first, what exactly are supply and demand zones? Now, supply zones, supply zones are areas where selling pressure is high, causing the price to drop. Okay, so those are areas where we call supply zones. Okay, areas where selling pressure is high, causing prices to drop. Okay, so we can see that we actually have a supply zone somewhere around here, right? Okay, let me just change this color to a lighter color, right? So we can see that we have a supply zone around here, areas where selling pressure is high. On the flip side, demand zones are areas where buying pressure is strong, pushing the price up. Hence, we can see that we have a demand zone around here. Okay, now these zones form when price makes a sharp move away from a level, indicating that institutions, banks, or big players are placing significant orders there. So you will notice that supply zones are usually they occur in a situation whereby a strong rally is followed by a sharp drop in price, right? Then as for a demand zone, you will notice a sharp drop, a sharp drop in price followed by a quick reversal to the upside. Okay, so think of these zones like magnets, right? Price tends to return to them, and when it does, it often reacts strongly. Okay, now let us get into how to quickly identify these zones on any time frame. You look for strong moves away from a level, right? You identify areas where price exploded away in a single direction with large momentum candles, right? You look out for the kind of candles that are forming. Okay, if there are candles with significant momentum or weak momentum. For example, you will notice that candles that are long in length, that are lengthy, they show strong momentum, right? So you can see that there was significant momentum here, around this supply zone. You can see that there was significant momentum here around this demand zone. Okay, so look out for momentums. Okay, this tells us, it tells us whether there is an imbalance between buyers and sellers. Okay, once you've identified areas where price exploded away in a single direction with large momentum candles, you might get an idea as to which traders are prevailing, whether it is buyers or sellers, creating a supply or demand zone. Then you mark the base of the move. Before the strong move, look for a small correction area or a few candles forming a range. Now, this is where orders were likely accumulated before price surged. Then you can draw a rectangle from the start of the big move. This becomes your supply or demand zone. You can see this rectangle that I drew here representing the demand zone and this representing supply zone. Okay, ensure to check for multiple touches. The best supply and demand zones are tested multiple times. All right, if price revisits a zone and reacts strongly, it confirms big players are still interested at that level. All right, and then ensure to use higher time frames for confirmation. If you trade on the 15-minute chart, check the 1 hour or 4 hour chart to see if the zone aligns with a higher time frame level. Okay, because stronger zones appear on multiple time frames. Now, just because you mark a supply or demand zone doesn't mean that price will always respect it. So how do you avoid these weak how do you avoid weak zones? The first thing you should do is to avoid zones formed by choppy price action. When you notice choppy price action, for example, you can see what is happening around here, right? If price moves slowly away from a level instead of aggressively, it's likely not a strong zone. Then also you can check for momentum and volume. The best supply and demand zones are created by high volume moves. All right, let's just quickly add the volume indicators to the chart, and let's look at how the volume was around these zones. Right, we can see that here we had an increase in volume around this supply zone. We can see here there was an increase in volume again. We can see here there was an increase in volume. We can see here again. We can see here again there was an increase in volume. Okay, so ensure that you always check volume. All right, check your volumes and momentum. Okay, and also use candlestick patterns. Look for confirmation like rejections, engulfing candles. You can see we had an engulfing candle around here. You can see that we had a rejection around here, right? You can see that we had a rejection around here. We had an engulfing candle around here. So make sure that you look out for all these. All right, engulfing candles, rejections, pin bars, when price revisits a zone. By filtering out weak zones, you can increase your trade accuracy and avoid unnecessary losses. All right, now let us summarize the key points. Okay, first of all, ensure that you find strong moves away from a level. All right, when you want to identify your zones, look for strong moves away from a level. Okay, then you mark the base of the move as your zone. Right, you mark the base of the move as your zone. Mark the base of the move as your zone. Then you use multiple time frame confirmation. Okay, multiple time frame confirmation. All right, you can move across time frames, to ensure that those zones remain valid across those time frames, especially higher time frames. Okay, avoid weak zones with slow price action. All right, avoid weak zones with slow price action. When you notice a slow price action, you might just want to avoid such zones entirely. Okay, look for candlestick confirmations before entering a trade. It's very important. Okay, by following these steps, you'll be able to quickly identify and trade supply and demand zones like a pro. If this helped you, smash that like button and subscribe for more valuable trading insights. Also drop a comment below and let me know what is your favorite time frame to trade supply and demand zones. I love to hear from you. Okay, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.